are live, Mr. Yomi, so you can take over from here now.
All right, sir.
You'll be able to moderate from your own end there. So, Mr.
Thank you.
Yomi, you are live.
Okay. Hi, good morning, everybody. Hello, good morning, everybody. If you can hear me, please talk. Good morning,
Yes, we
everybody.
can.
Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Ican Online Tutor Open Day. Today will be an exposure to all the questions that we have in mind and that we have been wanting to ask about how to pass ICANN exam at a click and why you need to join ICANN Online Tutor. You are welcome. I am Oriyomi Kasale, popularly known as Employer Might. I shall be the one facilitating today, alongside with my other colleagues that are here to carry us along and also educate us on all what we needed to become to succeed in our ICANN exam and also to pass the ICANN exam with ease. So permit me to facilitate this program today. So good morning, everybody. Sit back and let's enjoy ourselves. I shall be scaring, I shall be sharing my screen. I also use this medium to welcome everyone that are joining us on all our various platforms, including Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Telegram, and any other social media that you are joining us. We are Icon Online Tutor. Please confirm that you can see my screen.
We cannot see your screen yet.
Yes. Should I believe that everybody can see my screen now?
Yes, we can see it now.
Thank you so much. So everybody, this is Icon Online Tutor Icon Online Tutor for November Icon exam and ACCA December 2022 Diet Open Day. I welcome everyone once again. Alongside with me here are my professional colleagues who are also industry experts and also a tutor in our academy. Don't worry, as time goes on, I shall be introducing them to us. But as we all know, in Icon Online Tutor, the first and foremost that we put forth is God, because without Him, we are nothing. We shall commence today's activities with opening prayer. And we want someone that is led by the Spirit to actually lead us in that. May I call on Mr. Uwem Amos to lead us as usual in the opening prayer for today. Mr. Uwem, are you there with us? Please submit your mic. Mr. Uwem. All right, so while Mr. Uwem is trying to unmute himself because of time, may I be pleased to move forward? Mr. Ayokunle, please, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, sir. Please assist us.
Our Heavenly Father, we thank you. We glorify your name. We thank you for making us see this blessed day. Be thou exalted in Jesus' name. We thank
Amen.
you for how far you brought us. We thank you for the spirit of waking up. We thank you for everything. We pray and
Thank you,
commit
Lord.
this program onto your hand that as we start, O Lord, your abiding presence will be with us in Jesus' name. You direct the affairs of
Amen.
this program. You make us bring it to um, successful completion in Jesus' name. Thank you, Father, because I've
Amen.
answered. In Jesus'
Thank you,
mighty
Lord.
name, we have prayed. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Mr. Uwe. Thank you so much, Mr. Ayokunle. Mr. Ayokunle happens to be a professional student who, at an attempt, pass his skills level, also at an attempt, pass his professional level. Isn't God so wonderful? You are welcome, Mr. Ayokunle. Also, I will not forget to add to it that Mr. Ayokunle is also the HOC, head of the class for the professional level with Ican online tutor. Imagine that. We shall be hearing from the leader of the class today. He's also one of our facilitators for today. So, everybody, you are welcome. Since we have put God first, we are good to go. So, today, as you can see on your screen, these are the programs of the day. I promise to make it as interactive as possible. For those that are joining us from other platforms, you can as well talk to us. This is a live streaming section. When you have a question, want to say something, you can drop a chat and you can as well signify. You'll be, we are going to observe you and we allow you to talk. All questions have answer to it. We are professional on ground. So let's enjoy ourselves and let us enjoy our time. As you can see, like I promised earlier, that the time will be properly managed. I shall ensure that all the activities that we have today will be for a minimum of, don't worry, within an hour, we should be through. What is ICANN Online Tutor? For those that are just joining us, and for our prospective students, ICANN Online Tutor are the leading providers of online tutor. We are known for our excellency. We are known with our goodwill. We are known with excellent results. And how do? We leverage on the technology and advancement innovation in order to help students to succeed in their exam. And why do you need to join ICANN Online Tutor? Over time, ICANN Online Tutor has proven to be one of the best tuition houses that I can have. Like we said, that we leverage on on technology and innovation. That is, we make use of uh, Zoom lectures, we make use of our live session, and we also make use of online lecture to ensure that students have access to study at the convenience and comfortable of their home. Whether you are working, irrespective of where you are, we got you covered. That is why we are ICANN Online. We teach online, and the teachings online is also compared to that of the physical class with more advantages to the physical classes that we attend. Our lecturers are industry experts. Our tutors are aware of what student does, and likewise, they teach it in accordance to the set rules by the firm. Likewise, they deploy the easily understood method to ensure that students understand what they are teaching, as well as they were able to replicate. And that has proven to be the most effective tools for the success of our students. Having said that, I shall start with my speaker to tell us how we can pass Ican at an attempt. May I be pleased to call on, I love to call her the Lion Lady, because she's an industry expert and she took one of the most prominent course in Ican and HC as well. Madam, I don't guess it, Ekanem. Madam ID, are you there? Okay. While we are waiting for some of our speakers, may I be pleased to move to the speaker that is actually on ground in order for us to enjoy ourselves? So permit me to start with, I don't want to go to strategy yet, but I haven't talked about Icon Online Tutor. Wouldn't it be so interesting to hear the success strategy and one of the success story of IoT? Permit me to call on Mr. Adaraloye Ayokunle to discuss with us the success strategy with IoT. Before I move on to that, I would like to tell you whom Mr. Ayokunle is. Mr. Ayokunle, if I remember vividly, Mr. Ayokunle is an MBA student of one of the leading universities in Nigeria. Currently, he just wrote his MBA exam, even while ICANN exam is going on. I could remember that during the mock exam of IoT, Mr. Ayokunle was busy with his MBA exam. But how was he able to manage MBA exam, working and study with ICANN Online, and yet pass 5/5 of the paper at professional level, and does not just pass at you know what you say, the pass rate of like 50-51. He passed excellently. Mr. Ayokunle Adaraloye, may we be pleased to hear your success story with ICANN Online Tutor. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you, Your Might. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes, we can.
Thank you, sir. My story with IoT began October last year. Yes, October last year. I remember calling the administrator that I want to write ICANN paper, that's a skill level, November diet. I asked him a straight up question: Alpha, do you think I can do this paper? And he said, well, give it or take. If you can give yourself 30 days to seriously read this, why not? I said, okay, sign me up. That was, I think it was October 1st or so, about 45 days to the main paper. And to God be the glory, I passed skill. Now, I took on professional level. I had about 3 exams around the same time. My MBA exam, an exam in my workplace that my whole career for the last 2 years has been majored on. I can't afford to fail. I can say afford to fail, I can write again. But I couldn't afford to fail that one at all. And I had my MBA and ICANN. And all these exams happened within the space of 3 weeks to each other. And I was able to pass. This is just to set the context for what I did and how did I do it to be able to pass. The first thing I would say will be, 1, I transcribed my study packs into notes. So all the materials including case study material. I transcribed all of them into study notes, and they are labeled chapter to chapter. So if I'm reading chapter 1, I'm writing what are the key points in chapter 1. I'm writing it down in my notes. These notes eventually serve as my study guide for the exam. So I'm not going to read the old textbook again once the exam starts. So if I'm writing morning paper, I take my afternoon paper, which is my study notes, I take it along. So as I'm finishing one, I'm just reading my study note just to grab some few things again, just to know them. So I transcribe my study packs into notes. And you may say, would that just be you wasting your time? No, it's not. If you find out, you will find out that if I read, just the way I'm reading the screen now, I can read Ican online tutors November, December 2012 diet open day. It's easy to read that. But when I'm writing it down, I've read it and I'm writing it again. Ican online tutors, I'm recalling what I've read. That way, your hand and your brain, they are working together. That's one of the things I do. And so that's one of the reasons why I transcribe, the reasons why you need to transcribe. So I'm not going to tell you what I did only, but also put a reason behind it so you can also marry the two. Then I have this formula that I call activity times competence times consistency would give you your result. I work just like every other person here, and every other person, most people doing Ican, everybody work. But I close by 5. The time it takes me to travel from my office back to my house with traffic in Lagos takes me around maybe an extra 2 hours that I waste in traffic. And I'm driving, so I can't even read while driving. So what did I do? I stay back in the office every day from 5 to 9. I created activity to read and transcribe my notes every day, 5 to 9. This level of activity, you now need to apply what we call the consistency. So if you do it Monday, your body needs to adjust that you have an exam. Your body needs to adjust that this is an activity. So sometimes I don't even want to read. I'm not in a good mood to read. But because I know I'm just starting to read, I can't afford to do Monday, then I leave Tuesday, then I go home Wednesday, then I leave Thursday. No, there's no pattern. I create a pattern for my reading so that my body, my brain, and my spirit can be adjusted to it. Even days when I don't want to read, I make sure I stay back in the office, that 5 to 9, to tell yourself that my closing time is not 5, my closing time is 9. To stay back in the office and I read. So the formula I said earlier was activity times competence times consistency would give you your result. Activity will be what you're doing, things that you do. The competence would be ability to do that thing successfully, which you already have. What you need to do it. Your competence would be that you can read, you can write, and you have a brain, which everybody does. Now, the consistency part is where most of us fail. Activity and doing something in the same way over time. They say when you practice something, you get to learn it more. So adding all these things together, not adding them, multiplying it together is what gives the result. If one of them is missing, you miss it out. The next thing I did was to get my past question patterns. So I have past questions. What do you call it in Ican? We call it Pathfinder. So yes. I have Pathfinder. So I downloaded Pathfinder from 2014 to 2021. May, November. I have it on my Excel. And I look at, so once I'm not, this time around, this is the beginning. So I started this like February. I started reading like February 1st. Around February, I looked at the questions for all professional courses. I transcribed all the questions. I'm not looking at the questions. I went to the answers. So where they say examiner's report, the examiner is testing this part. I pick the topic. I put it on my Excel. I checked the series of the trend of the questions. And this gives me an insight into the areas that I can test frequently. That's another thing. The third thing is I attended classes. I don't miss class. Even the fact that I'm going to my MBA class, which is also online, and Ican class at the same times, and the fact that they made me class rep in Ican IoT means that I can't even miss that one because they'll be looking for the class rep. So I ensure that I was in. Sometimes I'm listening to 2 classes at the same time. I'm jotting 2 classes at the same time because I needed to pass on. But in your own situation, you might not be in such tense situation like I am. So I would advise attend classes. Then the good thing about using IoT is that IoT gives you video of the previous class to watch. So for example, if you're joining November diet now, IoT will give you the video classes for May diet, meaning that you can go ahead of the class and just come to the class as if you are having revision. So you will have video access to the previous session, previous set. You will have access to your current set. So you have 2 things. So before the next class, you'll have been told in class already that this is what you are studying for next class. You use that opportunity to watch that particular video, use your study pack to review the 2 things together. If there's anything else when you get to the class, you can easily ask. So that's one of the things that I did. Then I watched the video before classes. I think I've said that together. Then I solved questions. The first step was to review the pathfinders. That was done. At the latter end, 1 month to go, 2 weeks to go, start solving questions. Don't be afraid that you don't know how to solve them. By the time you get to the exam, you will see that the effort you made trying to solve those questions would pay off. Then during the exam, which I think is the most critical part, I would say that my own style, I start with God. I pray. With God, we say with God, everything becomes easy. I start with God. Then I start from the question that I know. That's the first thing. Usually, I'm a slow starter in the exam. So most of the time, if I start question 1, I might spend 45 minutes. Sometimes I might even spend 1 hour, meaning I have 2 hours left to finish the remaining 4 questions. But because I'm a slow starter in the exam, I pick the one I know very well first. So no mistakes in that one. Once I'm done with that one, I move to the next question. But because by then I'm already in the exam mode, full brain loading, working, overeating now, all the things I've read, then I start doing that. Then some of the things I did also was that because I did all the 5 courses together, there are some exams that I read this particular thing in maybe tax and they're asking me in another question. Do you understand? So these are some of the things that I did. Then I ensure that I attempt all questions, even if it is rubbish that I'm writing there. I attempt all questions. The ones that I'm not so sure of, I write them towards the end. Then don't forget, use your experience. I remember this last diet, there were lots of things, most that I didn't prepare for. I read them, but I used my experience to write some of the answers. A good example, I think in SFM, they were asking us what were the functions of Treasury Department. These are something that normally I would know, but I read it in the material, but I couldn't remember how it was written in the material verbatim. I translated to my own English. I looked at my company's Treasury Department. What were they doing? I wrote it down. I looked at my customers' Treasury Department. What were they doing? I wrote it down. There was another question in CR, corporate reporting. Normally in CR, after you do question number 1, which is group account, the question number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you will expect at least to see one single what they call this thing, standard. But unfortunately, no standard. In the last year, they were asking us things like, what will you submit to SEC? What is the risk management report? But because I was able to adapt my experience to that, I was able to now write what normally would I want to see in a risk management report. So don't forget that. Read first just for knowledge, then you can read again for understanding. Don't forget, activity times competence times consistency will give you your desired results. I think that's my short story on how I'm able to pass both levels at one attempt. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ayokunle. That is my able rep at professional level. I could remember how much he disturbed us for the because of his class. Mr. Ayokunle forget to add that he loves disturbing the tutor and he likes to bargain. Not bargaining for himself, but bargaining for the class. They can go to any length to tell you that, oh, you might see, we cannot do it this way. Why we have this, we have a between this and we have to, God bless you, sir. I love your leadership. I love your management. May God keep his blessing on you and everyone. Thank you so much for that.
Amen. Your might, sir. If I may add, sir, I think there's another thing I missed.
Okay, sir.
One of the good thing about having IoT is that flexibility. There are many times you are sitting in the comfort of your house. I remembered UM taught us one of the courses to like Mr. UM taught us one of the courses to like maybe 12 midnight just to ensure that we get it. There are many facilitators like that. The tax lecturer, Mr. Cletus, took us one course to like 11 p.m. because that was the time everyone was available. So the lecturers went above and beyond. We disturbed them and they're always available to answer. And the fact that even if you miss the class, you can watch the videos over and over and over again to get understanding, which goes back to my consistency. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And thank you, IoT, for the journey. I've said this over and over again. Thank you so much. I'm going to be doing my own celebration in November. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for that. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Ayokunle, once again. For a quick recap from what Mr. Ayokunle said, he said using Ican online is most of the flexibility study that one can actually adopt. And he said, seeing it online, your brain and hand are working together, studying for what you are actually going for. And one of the strategy that he adopted is he read and transcribe his notes. Having said that, knowing fully well that he have a busy schedule with his office and also his career, he have to marry the two together by ensuring that he dedicated for himself an hour of 5 to 9. If you're in Lagos, you should understand this very well. I could remember on Thursday we are getting home around 11 p.m. and leaving office by 5 p.m. So if you have even stayed behind, it would have actually saved a day for those in Lagos. Sincerely, even those outside Lagos, if you look at your time, this is one of the strategy that you can adopt. Just set yourself some hours. Oh, we close 5 o'clock, so but I'm going to give 1 hour for myself. Within this 1 hour, this is what I want to achieve. It might have mix up the part of why you have created the time. You also need to create a timetable for yourself within that line. That is, maybe on Monday I want to study for PM, on Tuesday I want to study for SFM, and there will be a day, like he said, that you will not even feel like reading. That energy will not come. That what do we call it, will not come, irrespective, because you've set yourself some time. You just have to observe it. That is what he called consistency. Likewise, he has adopted some formula which he call activities, competence, and consistency. Thank you so much. I also learned from that. Aside from that, he said IoT gives videos of previous classes. That is one of our strengths. We give videos of previous classes, and one of the things that we always encourage our participants is you should watch your video before the class so that you can come to the class with handful question. I started today that our tutors are industry experts, and they are skilled in the courses that they handled. All this, they do it very well. That is, thank God that you could confirm that as well. Please, you can drop your question on the comment section. For those that are joining us from YouTube and other media, just drop your question. The question will be heard and it will also be answered. Likewise, Mr. Akule said you should always endeavor to watch the previous videos before we come to class. That is what we always encourage. That is the brief summary from Mr. Ayokunle's presentation. Mr. Ayokunle, thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. Once again, congratulations on your results. We are expecting a gift from Ican, and we hope that will be coming soon. Thank you so much for that. So, permit us to move on to the next presentation.
I think Nicole wants to go next.
I didn't get that.
Nicole,
Okay.
Nicole wants to go next.
All right. If you can see my screen, you will see my program of the day I scheduled. Permit me to call on the next person, our lady Olayan Nicole, to talk to us on why IoT is the best study body for everyone to choose. Nicole, you have the floor, ma.
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is
Good
Nicole.
morning.
I hope you can hear me and I'm audible enough. So
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. I'm going to be discussing on IoT, Ican Online Tutor, as a study body. When I decided to take on Ican, I had to make a lot of decisions and a lot of sacrifices. It wasn't easy, and I just relocated to Lagos with the traffic. So I was trying to adjust to so many things, doing my MBA, also a member of the Compliance Institute of Nigeria, and then joining Ican. And I just gave birth that period. So I contacted IoT, and he said, well, how many courses do you want to write? I told him 5. He smiled. And so far, I won't say I regret contacting IoT, because since I started from the first day, the communication was great. And basically, my review about the Institute, I would say it's been top notch. They give you attention, they give you the time, and also they guide you properly, which is very important when you're writing an exam. You want the right guide, not just any guide, because people can tell you, go and cram this one. This is area of concentration. Read this, do this. They'll give you Israelite 50 pages textbook or 50,000 chapters to read that do not even relate to what you are about to do. So thankfully, with IoT, I was able to, they guided me properly to prepare for the exam. And the video lectures, very, very helpful, which I'm really grateful for, because I'm someone that likes to picture. Once I visualize what I'm doing, it makes it easy. And it's also helpful to have a video lecture you can go back to. Because sometimes in class, you might be too shy to ask questions, or you didn't hear something properly. But when you revise, like when you go back to the videos and listen to them properly, you will now realize, oh, this is what I missed. Again, nobody is we're not AI, we're not intelligence. So it's not that some of us don't have photogenic memory that once we see something, it stays with us forever. So it was really very helpful watching the videos and being able to revise it once in a while, like when you really need that. It gives you that helping hand. And the availability of the lecturers, they were always available. I remember contacting the case study lecturer. I said, yeah, I know it's just a month to the exam and I'm just joining. Sir, help me. He now laughed. He said, you are covered. Don't worry. You are fine. That alone was reassuring because some people will be like, you want to write 5 courses? Oh my God. Please, are you a genius? Do you have superpowers? You know? He just gave me this calm reassurance. He said, just go watch the videos. Then he even directed me to the exact videos that I needed to focus on. And he told me that don't worry, don't panic. Fear is not your friend. Don't go and just follow my instructions. He said, okay, watch this video. Then during my time, it was the introduction, then also how to dissect a question in case study, you know. It was really, really helpful. And once I did that, he just told me, trust yourself. At first, I was trying to write the exam, but I was like, if I write 5 courses, some I'm not dashing Ican my money because this money is very hard, though. And, you know, the economy is not. So I have to be very careful. But he said, just trust yourself. Don't allow fear take over. And there was something the SFM lecturer, the strategic financial management lecturer, also told me. He said, watch the videos, and in the videos, there are materials in the drive that they'll send to you. There are materials that will also help you create your study plan, which is very, very helpful. Having a proper study plan, because sometimes you might think, oh, I'm reading the right thing. Let me read from beginning to the end. And, you know, it's good to have all-round information. But also a proper study guide will tell you, okay, week 1, I'm supposed to do this. And in the SFM lectures, they have pathfinders that are coined to each topic. So you have past questions that relate to each topic. So if you finish chapter 1, you have past questions that relate to those chapter 1s that make it easy for you to practice and also remember. I remember joining, and then I met Mr. Ayokunle, our class president back then. And that man is a genius. I was just like, when he was talking, they'll be answering questions in class, and I was looking at them like, hey, I just joined 1 month. My goodness. But the lecturer said, I know you are already panicking. Don't panic. Just watch the videos. You'll catch on. When you come to class, you're talking about forex exchange risk. This one, I was like, what are they talking about? Let me flip through the pages. I was just panicking. He just said, just follow the study plan, watch the videos, and relate them to the pathfinders. Once you follow them step by step, you'll be fine. And which I did. That brings me to say that following instructions from your tutor is very key. Your tutor is your friend. If you do not like the tutor's voice, if you don't even like the English he's speaking, you won't be able to understand what he's trying to pass across to you. So it's good to follow a tutor that cares about you. Some of them, they'll just tell you, don't worry, write, and they'll be making their money. But they are honest, which is very good and very key. They were honest from the beginning and said, okay, you want to write the 5 courses? You know you have to make a lot of sacrifices. Some habits will change. Some things you will drop. You have to focus. And in 1 month, I wrote my 5 papers. And I'm glad to say I cleared my papers. Another thing is learning style. Everybody has his own learning style. What works for you? I'm someone that if I read before going to bed is very good. And the morning you ask me the question, I'm flowing. So most times when we have lectures in the evening, I know some people like, I'm tired, I'm grumpy. Just listen. You're like, no, let me just let me go offline. I will watch the video tomorrow. No, just join in. There's something about listening, even if you sleep and you're listening to their voice. In the morning, it becomes like what they call, they say Bible verses where you read them, or the Quran when you read it. You're just reading it for reading's sake. But when the time you need to fire the prayer, the verses will be coming to your head without you even knowing that ask yourself, am I a prophet or a pastor? That's the same thing with the Ican tutors. When they teach you at those evening times, the morning times, just it flows. You know, as you're waking up, you're having your bath, you eat, knowledge is entering. The night before you sleep, knowledge is entering. During the day, you are firing. People will be asking, is this person not chattered already? But they don't know the secret to your success. It's more of concentration, more of dedication, more of commitment. And you have to also set a time for yourself and say, this is the time I will study. My audit lecturer was also, advanced audit lecturer was also a very superb lecturer. I was even begging him. I said, sir, please let me pay for private tutorials on the side. He said, you don't need that. Just focus on what I give you in the lecture. Read your books, read your study packs especially, read the materials I give you, watch your videos very well. And that is what you need as a student. You need somebody that will guide you, that will advise you honestly, and somebody that is not trying to take advantage of you. And I think IoT was a very good stop for me. I'm telling you, I've had a lot of tutorials in different places for different schools and courses because I love taking exams. So this IoT, Ican Online Tutor has taught me a lot, and they've inspired me in so many ways. They have weekly plans you can use. They give you videos. You have the pathfinders from year 1 to date. They always update it. And every video after each lecture is uploaded. So you don't say, okay, let me wait for 50 years before I'll get it. Once it's uploaded, you can just in the night revise. And it's helpful. So again, very key to your success. Listen to your tutors. Be friends with your tutors. Disturb your tutors. You paid the money. Enjoy them. Worry them. Call them. Text them. WhatsApp them. Disturb. When you solve, they give you questions in class as an assignment. Try to do those assignments. They are very key. I can tell you that there was one assignment the audit lecturer gave us that came out in the exam. And when I saw it, I was like, Kai, are you sure this man doesn't have link in Ican that, it was really, really, really helpful. So those questions they do, supernatural or superpower, because of the vast knowledge they have, they are able to guide you properly. So once you listen to their instructions, you pass. And another thing, their lecturers are very engaging. They engage you. They don't just talk from today to tomorrow and then expect you to download information from heaven. Because courses like audit can be very theoretical and you might slip off during 1 or 2 lectures and just like, welcome back, But they make it so lively, they make it so engaging. And they give you room to ask your questions. They give you room to always contact them if you are not clear on something, which is very helpful for students, Joining a month to Ican, writing 5 doing Ican, also writing qualification exam for Compliance Institute of Nigeria. It was not easy. And I gave birth to that period with a crying baby every 2 seconds looking for food. It's not easy. So you need people that trust you to guide you through. And you need to also trust yourself. Trust that you can do this. The first step to passing the exam is believing you can do this. Once you fight that war within yourself, you can be able to achieve what you need. And you don't need, they say negative vibes. That's what I say, the bad vibes, away with bad vibes. You need the good ones, the people that will encourage you. And that's what IoT offers. They offer you that encouragement you need. You're writing 5, don't be discouraged, write it. Some will say, oh, I failed. No, you didn't fail. You learned. You learned and you are growing from that learning. And for somebody that wrote, even fail, and I will not see my money next year, thank God. I can tell you that you should trust your tutors. And also, Like, except if you want to, you feel like you want to dash Ican your money, probably you're starting a new NGO of donating to Ican, then you don't trust them, don't listen to instructions, just do what you want. But I'm telling you that once you trust your tutors, you follow the instructions, you'll pass. And if I could give an award, I would say I would give an award to all the lecturers that guided me throughout my journey in IoT. Because sometimes I watch the videos and I'll be laughing. Like, I was watching case study. The lecturer said, you see all these people that will go and be two times to the exam, they'll go to this tutorial center, collect material. This one, collect material. Pay 5,000 here, pay 15,000. You are on your own. I'll just laugh when I listen to those. And those things, even when you're listening to the lectures and you say you're on your own, those phrases that he made, and it will make you wake up, even if you are bored. Reading alone can be a little bit lonely. So it makes you wake up and be like, can you imagine this man? Be like, don't listen to what I'm saying. He he carries you along. Even the video tutorials, they carry you along. And when you hear questions from your classmates, even though you're not there, they will ask questions that you didn't think of, but will help you. So every step counts. Follow instruction. Don't rush yourself according to your learning style. Don't be lazy. Don't say, okay, this Lagos traffic is hectic. You may think you are not getting anything, but you are. Once you listen to things, the repetition, you listen to them that day, the next day, when you're fully awake, watch it again. It helps. All these repetitive patterns helps. Practice, like Mr. Ayokule said, practice your pathfinders, practice your past questions. They are very, very cool. They may not repeat the past questions like word for word, but you see the similarities. You can see the similarities. And also follow the study plan that IoT gives you. That study plan was a lifesaver. I had to print it, paste it on my wall. I give myself a target. Today, I'm going to attack week 1, plan week 2, and also study pathfinders relating to it. And they made it so easy that they structured each topic study plan for me with the pathfinders that each chapter relates to. So once I finish chapter 1, chapter 2, I know that, okay, if I go to November 2020 of SFM, I will see this topic and I'll see it relates to this chapter I'm reading right now. That way I don't go and start confusing myself up and down. It was very helpful. So overall, I would say trust your tutor, trust yourself. Consistency is key. Always practice. Always practice. Don't get lazy. The night lecture you might think is too late. It's for your own good. Because at the end of the day, they just want you to qualify. They want you to do your best, and they want you to also excel. They are not trying to take advantage of you in it. So again, I would like to say thank you to IoT for the experience. I'm very grateful. Award case study lecturer. I love you guys so much. Thank you for making those tough courses. Corporate reporting, you standards. And everyone, thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Nico. Oh my God. Thank you, thank you. Yes, we have had also from Madam Nico, and I just caught myself smiling all through that discussion. I think she actually reminded us what we need to do. And I could remember vividly. Our success story is God. And above all, she has said a lot. For what we usually say in the class, we do tell our participants, our professional colleagues. When I say professional colleagues, I'm referring to anyone that is writing ICANN ACCA. we do tell them that always trust your tutor. I could remember that we said trust your driver because you have no excuses. Your driver that you are the one paying him more, but you still have to trust him. Otherwise, it can just if you have no control, except you can only ask him, sir, slow down. And that is where we now have our class governor. She said, follow those who know road. That's why she emphasized on follow your tutor instruction. She even said, even if they are English to you, it's not as perfect as expected. It is not all about English. It is about knowing what they are teaching. And like we've all had, they have all the knowledge, they have the skills, they are industry experts. All of them are working on what they are teaching. They are not those who read book and come to class to come and teach. They replicate what they are teaching and they use their practical experience during the course of the lecture in the class. Above all, IoT are honest, is what Madam Nico said. He also said, if you look at the first speaker and the second speaker, they said, watch your video, as those video direct students to and IoT direct students to vital video to watch, irrespective of the timeline that you are joining us. Sincerely. And she also said that you should learn your own style. Learning your style is try to look at the time that works for you. This does not mean you should not attend class. Remember what Mr. Ayokule said? He said, joining various classes at a go, yet I decided not to miss the IoT class. And Madam Nico also said, even while they were discussing in the class, she tends, it seems as if she's not even understanding what they are discussing. But the tutor will keep telling her, don't panic, relax, go and watch this video and this video, you will catch up. And eventually within a month, someone passed 5/5 at professional level. When somebody will say, yeah, it's SFM, some will say, hey, we're more, it is case study. Those are not the case of IoT. I don't think if you haven't joined, you may not understand the message they're trying to pass. If you check your chat, you will see that we have some contacts there. Those are the contacts to just call the contact for those that are asking how to join the class. Yes, we are starting properly next week, which is July 9. Above all, Madam Nico said, don't get lazy. Trust your tutor and follow them. And never do you run away from your study. Actually, you have a career to pursue. Why would you run? The success is not for those who run away from their shadow, but those who pursue it and ensure that they see it through. After all, your organization are waiting for you to be chartered. The world of accounting are waiting for you to be chartered. Why will you quit? My dear, Ican online tutor are your surest bet. All right. Permit me to move on to the next speaker. Mr. Cletus, are you ready for me? If you can see the screen, let's quickly go to balancing the work life with our study life.
Sorry, before we move to the next speaker, I think we should take some of the questions.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So I will display them on the screen, then you can answer them, or the relevant speaker can answer them.
All right, sir.
Okay. Okay, so as a blessing says, please, how do one join these classes? So as a blessing, we have put our contact details on the screen. Hope you have copied it. You can contact me on 0808 066 5292, or 0818-599-3275. I will display it once again on the screen very soon. Thank you very much. Uche Kanabe is asking, good morning, everyone. Please, when is the professional class starting and what's the fee? So, Uche Kanabe, the classes will start officially on the 9th, but it is better to join now because the way we do it is that we give you materials to study ahead. So, videos to go and watch ahead so that you don't get lost while you are in class. It's best to join now so that you can know the topic they will be taking this Saturday and you can plan ahead for it. Thank you so much. Okay, the next question is Onye Isi Ifedima. Sorry if I don't pronounce that very well. How can I join this Ican online classes? Okay, so you can join by chatting with admin on 0808 066 5292 or 0818 599 3275. You can also visit our website on www.icanonlinetutors.com. I will share more details on the screen very soon. Thank you, Onyeisi Ifedima. The next question is Ishola Ayodele. Please, my question, Mr. You talk about transcribe your study pack. What about the IoT study material, or how do we marry both or transcribe both? Okay, Mr. Yomi, I will let you answer that.
Thank you so much. Mr. Ashola Ayodele, Ican Online gives summarized notes to the student, but this is what we adopt. We do not give that bulky note. Before the lecture, the tutor will ensure that they send to you the lecture material to be used for the next lecture. Also in it, there will be the question to be solved in the class. Likewise, on all our videos, we already have the study material in the drive that will be sent to you. When that lecture note, why are we not given that bulky note? Over time, we have found out that students don't usually study what is given to them. That is why we've decided that before the class, the lecture note will be sent. When we send the lecture note, the students are expected to go through it, and that is the lecture note that will also be used during the course of the class. And in it, there will be the question to be solved, but there will never be a pre-solved solution. What do you mean by pre-solved solution? Any question given in that material, no solution. The solution will be done in the class. And anybody that misses that class can only watch the video to see the solution. But also, at the end of the class, any question that is solved, the solution will also be sent to the platform. That is the material that we give. We do not give that bulky material because of our experience with students over time. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Oriyomi. I think I will take one or two more questions, then we can continue. So, Mr. Adewale Kundayo is saying, IoT, can I get the previous diet videos and notes because my email was distorted despite it was sent to me? Yes, you can get it. Please chat with admin. Admin will attend to you. Thank you. Okay, Ijoko Dominic is asking, please, how do I join the class? Kindly chat with admin on 0808 066 5292 or 0818-599-3275 or simply visit www.icanonlinetutors.com. Thank you, Iko Dominic. Omoniyi Abiodun is asking, hi, please, how can I get onboarded as a student? Kindly chat with admin in the numbers that will be displayed shortly or visit our website on icanonlinetutors.com. Okay, so David Olaleko is asking, I learned the class is to start properly next week. Question is, how will I be joining the class? Because I joined via YouTube for this open day. Yes, so this is the number you guys are supposed to chat with. You can chat up with the admin on WhatsApp, who is more than happy to attend. So for all of you asking, how will you join? Please chat with admin. Thank you and God bless you. The admin will give you all the information you need. So we can continue now, Mr. Oriyomi.
Thank you so much for that. Please, for those asking, endeavor to chat up the admin. Mr. Uwem, yeah, permit me to call on the next speaker, which will be telling us on how to balance our work life with our study life, because I know that is what majority are expecting now. Mr. Cletus Ita, can you please do justice to that? Mr. Cletus, are you there?
Mr. Cletus, you can unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself. You are
Yeah, but
muted.
yeah, I think his network is actually not strong. So maybe you should go to the next speaker.
Next person.
And yeah, I think
Mr.
you should,
Uwem.
yes. Let Mr. OM take.
All right. Please join me.
Okay.
Please hold on, Mr. Uwem.
Um,
Don't mind Mr. Uwem. Mr. Uwem is a lead tutor in SFM and also is one of our lead tutor in IoT. And we'll be doing justice to the courses that students fear most, which is SFM and PM. Why do they fear them most? It's because of the voluminous of the part. But Mr. Uwem, what are the strategic plan that student can adopt to passing SFM and PM? You have the floor, sir.
okay, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this session by Ican Online Tutors. SFM, PM, these are two courses as I mentioned that people tend to raise concern about. But the good news is that those two courses are actually easy courses to pass because they are technical papers. And for technical papers, you basically just need to have strategies around how to pass them. And at Ican Online Tutors, we do have this well-designed strategy around this, and our approach has ensured that our students ultimately pass these papers. So for this discourse, I'm going to just speak more towards SFM really, because I know that's what a lot of people, more people will be really, really concerned about. And then I also speak to PM as well. So I would speak to three things really: understanding the essence of the SFM exam, how to prepare for the exam, and then taking the SFM exam. So the first part speaks to understanding the essence. Because as professionals at this stage in our career, it's important that we understand why that course is important. And strategic financial managers for SFM, the good news is that basically you have just four topics really, four really core domains. So everything under SFM is around those four core domains. There was on this four core domains. As a strategic financial manager, you're concerned about how do we determine the cost of financing our business. You're also concerned about investment. So after you've raised this investment, after you've raised this finance, how do you invest this fund? And then when you get returns from it, how do you spend this return? Do you pay dividend or do you invest? Then you also consider the impact of this. So in just less than a sentence, I've actually told you what FFM is all about. So everything you're going to study, you should try and plug it when you study with Ican Online Tutors. Everything you study, you're trying to plug it into these four domains I've mentioned. So are you looking at financing? Are you looking at investment? Are you looking at dividend division? Or are you looking at risk management? So that's very important. So what's our approach at IoT? So it's important when studying technical papers that you understand how this paper works, what the examiner requires, and how the exam is tested. And so for us at SSM, an approach is to ensure that for every single topic that is covered in class, the questions that is used are past exam paper, past practice So you find yourself solving past papers, live past papers from day one. And what's the benefit of this? The benefit is that it's not like SFS. We have a topic, a question with come to different parts, and each of these parts are coming from different areas. So you have this experience around how to approach these different topic areas. And in addition to that, for each class, assignments are given. These assignments also come from past papers. So you can be sure that at the end of the course that you would have attempted at the minimum to complete past papers for minimum 4 or 5 years. And that will get you really prepared to face the actual exam, which is what is really required. So some tutor houses have said they just pick the part and then they just look at the questions in the part and then they move on. Those are not exam standard questions. That's not the case for FFM and IoT. So make it very easy for you, break it down, and then we'll also look at past papers, most especially all the practice questions. Another thing to also note is that we guide you on what the examiner actually requires. Because if you actually look at the syllabus, you will find that basically stated that the part section A, which is 40 marks, it basically comes from section B of the syllabus, which is business analysis. So I'm not sure why you have that information and you put in the work and you have 40 marks free in front of you and then you can't pass. We also know that there are certain topic areas that would often be tested either every year or every 2 years. So for instance, we have risk management. We know very well that risk management would always come almost every year. And there's always this movement between currency risk management and interest rate risk management. So we have experienced teachers that actually provide essential guides to you to identify important topics, solve practice questions that are live from exam papers, and with that, you'll be 100% prepared. So what's my advice for those that want to join us with SFM and PM? First thing, the plan is very important. You can't achieve much without a plan. For each of these courses, there are detailed plans that will help you follow along and be able to complete key and important areas that are required to pass your exam. So please stick to the plans that we provided. Secondly, there are videos. So you have opportunity to watch these videos ahead of the class. And when you come to class, you just see clarification. Then we have class sessions that will be focused more on actual question, past papers, detailed past papers. So when you see the paper on that day, an exam day, it's not the first day you are seeing an Ican exam paper. You would have attempted a number of them. And you would have also possibly also attempted a mock exam as well that would also be exposed. So two things, that will possibly watch the video. Thirdly, there are assignment given for each topic. And these assignments come from past papers. So for our students, we also have to tell them to always ensure that they attempt these assignments because as they do, they're actually solving past papers and getting themselves prepared. And then we also have the mock session as well. Students are able to attempt full paper under time condition, not that they're going to most time you see this you already have a strategy around for your exam. So we look forward to welcome everyone on board. And we can assure you that while people out there think SFM is difficult for us, SFM is here. IoT demystify those courses. I'm very sure that once you go along with the plan that we have in place, surely pass. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Mr. Oyemi, I think he is done.
I'm very sorry for that. I don't know, I'm muted. Thank you, Mr. Cletus, for that. At IoT, as we have had, irrespective of the course, we do not take anyone lightly. We consider all the course very crucial. Whether it is PM, it is SFM, we give equal rate to all of them because they are all important and they are as simple as anything. You have seen the strategy that we adopted, as mentioned by Mr. Uwem rather. We give assignments and we ensure that those assignments is being submitted as at when due. And you could add from the pastor who said, ensure that you attempt the assignment that is given and you submit in due course. She also said, our instructor are friendly. Engage them because you have already paid for the class. Mr. Uwem is a lead tutor, like I said, is always available in attempting to all the questions as well as many other instructors. That is when we are at Ican IoT. You have nothing to lose when you are with us. Please permit me to move to the next speaker because of the time. Mr. Cletus, are you ready? While we are waiting for Mr. Cletus, permit me to call Mr. Afis Adebimpe to tell us how to deal with a reference paper. Should we shuffle or we should boogie or we should run away? That is what boogie means. Mr. Afis, are you there? While we are waiting for that, when we all check our screen, you will see the contact information that is posted. For those that is asking, how can I join? Just look at the screen. For inquiry on how to join our classes, kindly chat with the admin on 080 80 66 5292 or through 081 85 993 275. That is the admin number. Just chat with the admin number. He will attend to all the requests. All right. Okay. So permit me to call on the next speaker, Mr. Afis Adebimpe. Mr. Afis Adebimpe will be telling us how to deal with reference paper. Either we should shuffle it or we should boogie. Boogie means should we run away, should we quit ICANN? Because most of the people has always been saying, oh, I've been writing exam for more than 5 times. This is my 7th times of writing case study. This is my 7th times of writing SFM. This is my 7th times of writing this, of writing that. Like we said earlier, running for a paper is not actually the best. When you do not have the right instructor, the right instrument, let me say, such may occur. What are we not getting right? What are we mixing up? That is what Mr. Afis Adebimpe will discuss with us. Actually, it is not really not having the right tutor. but I don't want to deal with it. Let the speaker speak for himself. Mr. Hafiz Adebimpe is also one of the leading tutor in corporate reporting. Likewise, I don't want to be putting all our tutors and industry experts because we have already known that. Mr. Hafiz Adebimpe, you have the floor, sir. You are welcome.
This is having network issues. Mr. Hafiz is having network issues. I think you should
Okay.
call the next speaker. Probably you should take your session.
All right. So while we are waiting for
Yes, Mr. Yemi, you can mute yourself and take your whole session.
hello, good day, everyone. I apologize for the short break. Apology for that. So a lot of question has actually been coming up in which I would like to address, which is ICANN or ACCA. Which road are we to take and what are the benefits for taking the road? Let me reemphasize that ICANN Online Tutor actually takes pride in both ACCA and ICANN. And interestingly, both ACCA and ICANN have the capacity to uplift your accounting career. That is when you need to become an international recognition. And it is best to sit for ACCA when you are actually looking for international recognition. But bagging ACCA qualification becomes easier if you have already sat for ICANN. What do I mean? ACCA and ICANN are both professional bodies of ICANN that are recognized locally and globally. Actually, some has been so much concerned about ICANN having some global recognition, but I can confirm to you that effective from 2019, during the amalgamation of ICANN with Institute of Chartered Accountants England and Wales, ICANN are now internationally recognized, and they are now receiving most of their papers in all embassies, including Canada, in which the case has been most of the questions that students like to ask. Why ICANN? We all know that. In order to become a recognized professional accountant in Nigeria, you have to pass through a professional body in which ICANN is still the front runner of that. I don't want to go to our locally identified professional bodies because I don't want a conflict of interest in this capacity. Actually, I would like to focus on what I am to discuss on, which is ICANN or ACCA. Like I said, in Nigeria, other institutions are recognized, but ICANN are taking the front lead. And as a matter of such, becoming an ICANN is very much easier. Just get yourself registered with ICANN, get yourself registered with IoT, ICANN Online Tutor, then you pass your exam just like that. That is how easy it is. After ICANN, let's now go to ACCA. But I would like to start from when you become an icon, is there a pathway to ACCA? Yes, yes, and yes, I can. When you be yes and yes answer, when you become chartered, as we have the major testimony that a lot of people, as we have the major testimony for people becoming a chartered accountant in this just released May 2022 diet exam. Those that become chartered, if they want to become ACCA, how will they do it? First, they must have to be inducted. That is, they will be inducted by November. After being inducted, the next thing is you can now apply for ACCA if you want to. If you are a chartered accountant, becoming ACCA is very much easy in such a way that we have compulsory paper and we also have elected paper. And we have a fee to pay for the exemption. For those that are just coming anew, maybe I'm a graduate of accounting and I want to sit for ACCA, then you'll be starting from scratch. Starting from scratch in the sense that you get yourself registered, having registered with ACCA professional body, you also register for tutor with Ican online, then you pay for your exam. Having done that, you sit for the exam and you start from the what? You start from the levels of the ACCA exam. But for the ICANN, you have 3 papers to write when you are chartered for ACCA. I shall not be discussing on which one is better between ACCA and ICANN. That's why I started that. No doubt, both ICANN and ACCA are now globally recognized. Each body have their disadvantages and advantages, in which I shall not be talking on that. In terms of the exam flexibility, the recognition, the qualification and certificate, both ACCA and ICANN are front runner. And there's no gainsaying that one exam is hard. Both exams are easy to pass. In fact, ACCA is more easy to pass than I can, but I shall not go to that. And the study material of the two has proven to be what? The best in ICANN professions. My dear professionals, that is what I would like to release about ACCA and ICANN in order to avoid the conflict of interest, like I said. Thank you so much. And I have my professional colleagues on ground. Mr. Hafiz, are you there now? Dear colleagues, I sincerely apologize for that. Our tutor that's supposed to discuss on the work balancing is actually having issue with his network. I apologize for that. I shall be doing justice to the discussion that we've had today, alongside with the discussion on balancing the work life with our study life. Yes, as we all know, based on what we have discussed, how do we really balance the work life with that of the study life? Most especially for those of us that are working, or let me say nearly 90% of the students today are working class. And as a matter of such, we all need to give our best in our workplace. Likewise, we are still expected to we are still expected to excel in our academic career, which is in our study life. How do we now marry the two? The strategy is as simple as: first, explore the workplace support. How do we explore the workplace support? When the first speaker was talking, he said he always creates a time during his official, I mean, immediately after his official time, you always have an extra time to wait in the office. For example, he cited the case of waiting in the office from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And also, while waiting in the office from that time, he has already created a study goals. What is the study goals? This is what I want to achieve within a period of the 2 hours. This is also what I want to achieve between another period of 2 hours. You shouldn't make your study plan show bogus in the sense that it will be difficult for you to achieve. Having two courses or two papers to study in a day is ideal. From 5 o'clock to 7, I can decide to study for financial reporting. From 7 o'clock to 9, I can decide to study for CSME. That is for those that have the 4 hours to schedule. It may not be 4 hours. It can even be what? A period of 2 hours. Over time, I've always been advising that at least give yourself 1 hour or just 30 minutes for your study. And that is when I love a strategy called the ant principle. What do we call the ant principle? Everybody did not have that equal time like others. Instead, the time that you have for yourself, manage it. How do you manage your time you have for yourself? You may not have the time to wait in the office after the closing hour. Your organization policy may not permit that. But everybody, or let me say everyone, have that break time in the office, which is an hour of 1 hour or 30 minutes, as the case may be. Let me assume that everybody have 1 hour for break. Likewise, we still need to eat because it is part of essential. Within that 30 minutes, you can use it to watch your video. You can use your 30 minutes to listen to the audio lecture. In fact, you can use the 30 minutes to go through what was taught in the class. You can peruse your study note. You can decide to make a note out of a note that is given in the class. And you can also use the minute to rework what was taught in the class. Another strategy is to prioritize your commitment. That is actually in line with what the first speaker said, which he said you practice consistency and commitment. we should accept that we all need to reorder our current activities and in accordance to priority. If you're given much tax in your office, obviously you know that you have to prioritize it. The same way, from your priority, in that your priority, just decide to factor in your study hour. We always advise you cannot study everything at a time. Me, I can decide that in a day I will be studying at least one of my courses. If I have 5 papers to write, for instance, my classes is weekend, and I have 5 papers to write, let's say whether in skills or at professional level. On Monday, I can decide to be having one for each of the week. Monday, a paper, Tuesday, like that, up to Friday. That covers for what? For that 5 paper. And weekend will be for my lecture. If within an hour, only what I can achieve is to listen again to what we did in the class over the weekend, I have achieved. Another one is to use your study plan. When you have a plan that today I'm studying for SFM, and in that SFM, what I am to study is cost of capital. Don't be carried away to go for AAA, even if you have an assignment to meet. If today is not meant for AAA, do not do AAA. That is how to make use of your study plan. Another one is to work smarter and not harder. How do we work smarter? My boss said, working hard do not justify the mean. It is how smart you have worked. I don't know a reason why an accountant should not have his to-do list. I believe everybody can see my screen. We call it to-do list. What is that to-do list? To-do list is today, this is what I want to do. Let's say today is Saturday. So my to-do list for Saturday, July 2nd. You can just bulletin it, or you can have a number. You already have your to-do. You must have a jotter in your to-do list. You are going to office on Monday. You already know the task that is waiting for you in office. And let's assume that today is Monday. Forget the Saturday that I put. In office, post all entries. Confirm all payment. Study for SFM. In that SFM, what am I studying? Specific cost of capital. Then this is how to have our to-do list. In every day in my office, I also have it. The same thing for study, we also have it. When you create your to-do list will serve as a guideline to what you will do throughout that day. And if your study is not factored in, it may not be easy for you to achieve it. When you factor in your study plan into your to-do list for that day, it will make your work much easier. Likewise, it will enable you achieving your study goal. That has proven to be the best way of working smarter. Another one is to manage your stress. When Mr. Ayokunle was speaking, he made reference to when you feel like not reading or your body is not accommodating it for that day. It is not a do or die affair. Give yourself a break. What are you doing? You are managing that stress. You may be stressed out. It may be a period in your office that you have overworked yourself. then you need to relax. Body no be firewood. Permit me to speak that. Go home and relax. You can be in your office and just put your head on the table because you have already scheduled yourself. You are already committed to that 2 hours. In performance management, we call it, there's what we call a committed account. In accounting, rather. In performance management, we call it commitment cost. In SFM, you call it relevant costing and non-relevant costing. We say a committed cost is no, we are not talking of cost now. A committed hour is the hours that has been dedicated for a schedule. Whether that schedule is achieved or may not be achieved, nothing will distract that hours that has already been committed for. For instance, you have already dedicated an amount for your Ican. Let's say, oh, for Ican IoT, I am paying them this amount. No matter what happens, you will not spend that money because that money is part of your study cost, which you need to achieve your career. So you will not touch it. We call such money, we call it committed fund. So far, no matter what happens, you will not touch that money. No matter what happens, you should not touch that your hour too. It must be meant for what is dedicated for. Even when you are stressed out, so far that hour is for a study plan. When you get to where you want to study, just relax your brain, relax your head, put your head on the table, sleep. That will bring about the consistency that the first speaker Ayokunle said. Finally, remember why you are doing what you are doing. Remember why you are doing your Ican. Remember why you have dedicated that time. Remember why you are studying extraordinarily. I always advise that during your hours of study, why should you have your phone beside you? Why are you on Facebook? Why are you on WhatsApp chatting? Why are you on Twitter chat? Why are you on Twitter space? Why are you on Instagram space? For the time you've allocated for yourself to study, your 2 hours will become meaningless. Your 1 hour will become meaningless if you are online chatting and you are not using it for study. Over time, I've had the various comments that if I do not listen to music, I will not study well. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. Over time, you said you are studying. You are not asking questions, no. And you are on chat. Hi, hope you've prepared the meal. And you are studying. That is not it. I call that just deceiving ourselves. So on the final note, you should always remember why you are doing what you are doing. The ultimate goal is for during those study hours, the ultimate goal is to achieve that study plan. At the end of it is to pass your ICANN exam, to pass your HCA exam easily. So the ultimate goal is to achieve your aim. That's why I said remember why you are doing what you are doing. John Maxwell said, and I quote, when you know why you are doing why, you will maximize that time effectively. That is why if the purpose of a thing is not known, misuse is inevitable. But when you have an answer to your why, your commitment will be so strong that without you doing it, you will even be disturbed. And Madam Nico said, disturb your instructor because you have already paid for the class. All our instructors are friendly. And she also confirmed that. Whenever you are having a question, maybe you are studying doing this and you are not getting anything, drop your question on the chat. We are always available to answer and attend to your question. My dear professionals, that is the little I can share on how to balance your work life with your study life. Every other one shall be discussed alongside. I think my instructors are now available. So thank you for that. Permit me to move on to the next speaker. On the note of my next speaker, I shall be moving the screen to Mr. Afis Adebimpe, as previously said. Mr. Afis Adebimpe, you are welcome, sir.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Good afternoon once again. Apologies,
Oh,
I've been having issue with my internet, so that's why I couldn't connect on time. Apologies. The topic before me is dealing with reference papers. Dealing with reference papers. I don't have a slide for it. I don't know if you have a slide. Yeah, I don't have a slide for it. It's going to be a short and interactive session.
all right, sir. Continue, sir.
So the topic before me is dealing with reference paper. We are looking at Ican and ACCA as a major case study. It is not a news that Ican is the registered professional accountancy body in Nigeria. Of course, we have other professional institutions, but Ican have come to stay. And if I'm not mistaken, we have the largest population of experts in this profession of ours. However, passing Ican have been a sweet story for some people, while for a large number of persons, passing ICANN is like a difficult journey. But it is important that failing ICANN is not the end of life, and it has nothing to do with whether you are good or not. What is important is how do you strategize yourself to pass the ICANN in one sitting. Upon reading very well, going for lectures, burning candle at night to read, you end up failing a particular subject or a particular paper. Now, of course, that can kill motivation. That will kill your morale, put to say, but that's not the end of life. Then you need to put in place some strategy for you to be able to pass your reference paper. I think at every level of this ICANN professional program, we have some control papers. I may not be very correct here, but I think I'm close to correct. Number one, for skill level, let me start with skills level. We have control paper like PM, that's performance management. For foundation level, we have control paper like financial accounting and finance. That is business finance. That I noticed that people feel that a lot. So that's why I call it control paper. But for skill level, I know of PM and FR. People feel it a lot. I can also call it control paper. Like I said, I may not be perfect in terms of saying it correctly, but from experience, this is what I've realized that people feel a lot. And in final, of course, we have control paper like the almighty SFM. We have case study. I think these two have been the major problem for students to pass year in, year out, diet in, diet out. But if I'm asked, I think all paper in final are seen to be control papers for ICANN because you passing one, failing one again is like failing everything. You passing one is like passing everything also. What are the strategies you need to put in place for you to pass your ICANN exam in one sitting? Or, sorry, what are the strategies you have to put in place for you to pass your ICANN exam after failing a particular course? Let me make myself as a case study. I've never failed before, so I don't know how it looks like when people say they fail a paper. So, my first attempt for final papers, I cleared two. Yes, I cleared corporate reporting and case study. I failed tax, I failed audits, and I failed SFL. Of course, if I had failed SFM, I would agree that okay, maybe I need to study well. But failing tax and audit is like, these are the things I do in practice. I'm already becoming an authority in this line. Then why did I fail? So I realized one of the reasons why we fail is we believe so much that we know it, not minding the fact that there are some basic principles, basic points, salient point that we have to take into cognizance for us to write this exam perfectly and well. So the first thing you need to take into consideration when you are writing your paper is to change your approach of preparing for the exam. What is your approach? If you are the type that you only study for, say, 1 hour, I think you need to intensify, add more time to it. You can do like 3 hours. Yeah. So 3 hours, considering your own best time of learning, maybe 3 hours as a stretch, or you can do it intermittently. But what matters is that you need to add more time to your studying hour. Again, another strategy is to commit yourself to solving past questions. Here, I'm not saying that I can will repeat question 100%, but solving past question is like you preparing yourself perfectly for the exam. After solving past question, go to the Pathfinder solution and see how examiner has given their own solutions and what are the recommendations and point of area that students are expected to follow. That is strategy number 2 that you need to take into cognizance. Strategy number 3 is to move with that people that you know that knows this subject very well. For instance, SFM. SFM is a kind of paper that almost everybody used to fail. Almost everybody used to fail. We have people that are so lucky to pass SFM in one paper, but that doesn't mean because you are failing, you did not know it. So for those people that pass their own in one sitting, you need to move to them. Okay, ask them, okay, how did you attempt this question? Some can be so lucky they wrote nonsense and they pass. But for those people that actually know the subject, they ask them to put you through. If possible, you can engage one of them to take you on private mode. Move to them, let them put you through. With that, you are good to go. That's what I did. I wrote SFM like 3 times. I passed the fourth attempt. So in my final attempt, after learning online, I also called a friend of mine that passed his Ican exam in like 3 cities too to come put me through. I invited him to my place and he did his best and the best worked for me. So again, you can approach your colleague to put you to, because sometimes peer-to-peer teaching, you will understand it better because that person will break it down to your understanding. That's number 3. Number 4, which is the one I use, is to move closer to God. Maybe you can try to be more prayerful. Why did you keep failing a particular topic or a particular paper that you believe you know well? Then something is wrong. I'm not saying it's being diabolic, but something is wrong. Maybe there's something missing spiritually. Then you move closer to God. So with that, you read well, you pray harder, everything will work together for one goal. And what is that goal? Is for you to pass your ICANN exam. And that is the major reason why we are setting up this one-day sensitization program. For me, I want to open it to the audience again to bring forward their own strategy, how they feel that they can come write a reference paper in ICANN. Like I said, there's no perfect approach as to how you can do this. But I have given my own 4 principles that I believe it works for me. The first one is add time to your time. If you are the one that read like 1 hour to prepare for exam, you can add time to like 3 hours. But consider your mental ability. That's point number 1. Point number 2 that I mentioned is to change your strategy. How do I mean by change your strategy? Try to study more of past question. I didn't say don't study other book materials, but study the past question. Attempt past question. Go to the solution. See how it has been identified. Look at the recommendation given by the examiner. Work with it. Understand it. Go over it again. If you can solve questions perfectly, then you are good to go. Point number 3 that I identify is if you have some of your friends that have written this exam and they pass, move to them. Let them put you through. Peer-to-peer teaching, you understand it better because they will speak your language and they can break it down to your understanding. Lastly, go spiritual. By so doing, pray to God to make it an easy one for you to pass. Because if you read and read and read and you do not commit your studies to God's hand, then you might end up failing again. With that, I believe you are good to go write your ICANN reference paper, and I wish you all the best. The floor is open for you guys to bring forward your own view because it's expected to be an interactive session. There's no perfect answer when it comes to ICANN. Our goal is for you to pass and get to celebrate you as a qualified chartered accountant. On a final note, ICANN Online Tutors is a very beautiful platform for you to manage your time very well, admin studying perfectly. So if you have a reference paper, I think ICANN Online Tutors is the best channel for you to pass again. We have the talented individual among us. We have people that pass the exam in one sittings. We have people that have failed, come back to right field, come back to right field, and finally pass, just like myself. Meaning the experience is there for us to lead you to your right destination. Once again, I wish you all the best. The diet will commence. The diet lecture will commence, I think, immediately after this sensitization program. We want to implore you all to be part of us. And of course, being part of us is being part of the winning team. Thank you and God bless. The floor is open to the presenter and everybody. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Afis Ademike, for that. If you have any question, please, we can start dropping the question. Once again, for inquiry on how to join our classes, we can chat up the admin through 080-8066-5292 or 081-859-93275. That's the admin number. You can decide to chat up the admin on how to join the class. Likewise, for those that are ATS that want to become for those that have just been inducted as ATS, congratulations. What you need to do is just register as a professional student with ICANN by visiting icanig.org. After that, you are starting from the skills level and you are writing 5 papers, which include the performance management, financial reporting, taxation. Okay, you all know them. Okay, corporate strategy management and ethics, which is CSME, is also inclusive for those that are ATS that want to write ICANN. Just visit the website. After that, permit me to call on the last speaker for the day. Madam ID, can you hear us? Please unmute yourself. All right, my colleagues, I shall be handling the presentation to Madam ID. I don't get to take her name. And she'll be doing justice to how to pass the ICANN exam at one attempt. Once again, ID is a lead tutor in financial reporting and corporate reporting and other courses. She's versatile and everything that have to do with standards and the group. You always find her at front. Welcome, Madam ID, on how to pass ICANN exam at one attempt. You have the floor, ma. We can't hear you. ID. Kindly speak up. Please hold on. She's trying to fix her network.
I don't think ID is available. So let's take some questions, Mr. Abiyomi. I think there are about 2 or 3 of them at the moment.
All right, sir.
So Agbaje Mariam is asking for a skill student that wants to split the courses. They want to split the courses into 2. What are the courses to combine? Mr. Abiyomi, can you help us in answering that?
Okay. For a skill student that want to split the courses into 2, the best. Permit me to share my screen. First, at skills level, what are the courses that you are writing? You are looking up at performance management, which is PM, financial reporting, which is FR, PSAF, which is public sector accounting and finance. Then we have CSME. CSME is corporate strategy management and ethics. And we have taxation. The best combination, if you are writing skills level twice, is just to write your FR, have your PM, and have your CSME. And alternatively, you can now write PM and taxation. Okay, I hope this color code help. So to write your skills level twice, the best one is first have your financial reporting, have your CSME, they have something in common. Then your PSAV, which is your public sector accounting and finance, also have some topics in common with that of the financial reporting. So that is the best way to split your course, to split the diet into 2 when you are writing the skills level. Thank you. What's the next question?
Oh, apologies. Shit. Apologies.
So, Mr. Kehinde Oyinlola is asking, as a chartered accountant who want to go for BSc accounting, how do you go about it? Or are they equivalent?
Can you take that question again, please?
As a chartered accountant who want to go for BSc accounting, how do you go about it? Or are they equivalent?
No. Ican and BSc is a 2 different thing now. So let me take it like this. It's a 2 different thing. Ican is a professional examination, right? So Ican will certify you professionally, and you are part of the members of the institute. So having a BSc in accounting makes you to be a graduate, a school graduate of accounting from any university or polytechnic of your choice. So now, I can make you more recognized than that of BSc. Having ICANN certified, employers see you as a professional who knows his onions and is relevant in the accountancy profession, right? So ICANN is the highest certification that you need to have to be a member of the accountancy professional body in Nigeria. I hope that is clear.
Yes, thank you so much. But for someone that is a chartered accountant, how can they go for BSc? I think if I could look from the
Okay, let me,
perspective of, I'm
I
coming,
think I
sir.
can, okay, go ahead.
Can you dissect the question? What Mr. Kinde is trying to know is there any waiver for someone who is already a chartered accountant and want to have BSc?
Of course, there is. So let me give you a very good example of institution in Nigeria that we give you BSc after earning your ICANN certification. Babcock, for instance. So it is called ICANN Conversion Program. It's a 1 year course, 1 year or 2 year course. With that, you have your BSc, right? We have some other institutions in Nigeria that allow ICANN as a conversion program. So once you have your ICANN, to earn your BSc certificate, you just do like 1 year course with them or 2 years program with them, and they give you the certificate. But of course, it's a very good leverage to have your ICANN and just go to school to do a 2 year program or one and a half year program to get your BSc, instead of running the school for 4 years. And now that we've been having strike up and down, your 4 year course can now be like 10 years course, you know. But having ICANN, it will help you to save close to 3 years of the 4 year program to earn your BSc certificate. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. I hope that has been cleared. Also, Madam Titilayo Joan is also asking that how can they split the final level? I hope we discussed on this earlier. Mr. Avis, please assist on that.
How can they split? Okay, well, so it's a choice, right? So it's a choice that borders on your competency. Yeah, it's a choice that borders on your competency.
Please, Mr. Avis, let me assist like this. Let's also have the
Okay.
professional level. Let's look at what they are writing. At professional level, you have SFM, which is strategic financial management. You have AAA, which is advanced audit and assurance. You have case study. You have what? You have corporate reporting, which is CR. And what? 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the last one? We have
case study. Okay, if you think it's corporate reporting, SFA, advanced tax.
Yes, we have a tax, advanced tax. So what is the best combination?
Okay, so as I was saying, it's a function of your competency, right? So for me, all of them are like control paper. So, but of course, we have one that is more easier than the other. So you can start with advanced tax and corporate reporting. I beg your pardon, advanced tax and corporate reporting, or advanced audit and assurance and corporate reporting. So you can actually take advanced audit and assurance, corporate reporting, and tax together. Yeah, you can take that three together. While the last two, you can go for it later. And if you want to write it,
please
you can take advanced tax. You can take advanced tax and audit together with corporate reporting, while you'll be left with case study and SFM, which can be done at any time, maybe after you have successfully passed the first three papers. Is that clear now?
Yes, thank you. But
don't forget,
is there a way we can have it minus this case study? Is there a way we can have it 2-2?
Okay, 2-2. So don't forget I mentioned something. Let me state it clear again. It's your choice of competency, like how good you are, which one is the one you know that, oh, like me now, if they wake me up from sleep, tax, audits, and corporate reporting is my sweet paper. Now I'm a good writer. I read a lot. Case study is also part of it. But SFM, I have to drink water to be able to do it. Not that it's hard, but it's just a control paper that requires good attention. Now, you can do it like this: audits and corporate reporting, let it go. Case study and tax, let it go. Then you sit on SFM. But again, because case study in a cohabit almost all this paper, you can actually write your case study last. I have a friend that do corporate reporting and SFM in the first sitting, and he passed it. So it's your choice of competency. Just evaluate yourself and see where you belong. So that is my own view on that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Apolis. In addition to that, I love to tell everybody that the case study is a must for you not to even write. Because in case study, there's nothing we are studying, there's nothing so spectacular about the course. You just need to understand the step, the requirement, and how to write the report. And that is where we strengthen ourselves on. Any of the two that you are picking as advice, it can be SFM and AAA. Let case study be part of it. It can be corporate reporting and attacks. Let case study be part of it. With us, there's no way you will not pass them. That even if you are writing 4 papers and case study is not part of it, add case study, make it 5. If you are writing 2 and case study is not part of that 2, add case study to be 3. In fact, case study is not part of the choice. You will see that I did not color code it. Case study is not part of the choice to make. It's an addition to the choices that you are making. As advice, Mr. Abdulafi said, look at your core competence. Which one do you love best? And he said the best combination is SFM and AAA because they have some things in common. Then corporate reporting and attacks, they also have things in common. Though in SFM we are doing attacks, that's why I said your core competence. But irrespective of the one you are going for, case study is a must to be added to them. If you're writing 4 papers and you've not passed case study before, add case study to make it 5. If you are writing 3, case study is not part of it, add case study to make it 4. If you are writing 1, add case study to make it 2. Case study is not what we need to study before we get it. Just register for the case study and follow the instruction. Thank you so much for that. Any other question? Okay. Another question here from Mr. Bola Titodada is, what level can a BSc in accounting start with when they have ACCA? Mr. Hafiz.
I can hear you.
What level can BSc in accounting start with when they have ACA? Since you said most institutions are accepting it, I think that's why the person asked the question. We can also drop our question on the comment section.
Okay, brilliant. So I think for Babcock, it's 300 level. You do 300, then 400. That's all. So the maximum levels that you do is 2 years. That I'm very sure of. So it's not a function of how far the school can go. So let's take 300 level, 300, then 400 level.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Okay, another question from Madam Oluseun Oludipe is, can you please advise on efficient time management? There are times when we are tempted to allot more time to the control paper, end up passing the control paper and failing the easiest paper. What is the best efficient time management? Okay, permit me to respond to this first. Actually, what we do in IoT, what we are having today is the beginning of the session interaction. We also have end of the diet session, which we are going to discuss about effective time management, because then you would have studied, you would have all what it takes to pass the ICANN exam. Then we will now discuss how you can manage your time effectively and efficiently to passing all your papers. Though discussing that now is relevant, but discussing it after you've studied is more relevant. The time management that you should be focusing with now should be on how to balance the work life with the study. And after that has been properly managed, we now discuss on examination time management. So then we'll be discussing all what you have studied practically, because we usually show a practical flow of chart of how to manage your time effectively when you are attempting the paper, using those paper as a case study. I could remember the last session we had, we started from the foundation up to the skills, up to professional level. And we use a case scenario to discuss how you can manage your time, the session you should be answering for, as well as how you should answer them with those common examination questions that I can love asking. But I will leave my speaker to also answer that in anticipation to our end of the diet session. Mr. Avis Adebimpe, do you have anything for effective time management for the control paper as mentioned in your speech?
Okay, so basically, just like I mentioned earlier, it's a function of you. So time management at this stage is, if you are going to join us, we do, let me see, at the moment we are at 95% online class. We do 95% online classes. So your time management is how you're going to strike balance between your studies and your work. You will not say that because you want to write ICANN exam, you should lose your work. And also, you have to sustain your work by passing your ICANN exam. So basically, you need to properly manage and strike balance between work and studies. I think that is what you need at this stage. Again, you can have a daily timetable for yourself, for video to cover, for for study material to cover on each papers. With that, for me, I think you are good to go, because this is what I do personally. For instance, I dedicate 3 hours of my time daily on SFM, while other people I dedicate 1 to 2 hours on them, because they are subject that, because I know it better, I use little time on them. But the one I know that when anytime I read it, I forget the formula easily. That's SFM. I dedicate more time to it. So on in a day, at least I have about 4 hours for studies, two paper, maybe 3 hours on SFM, 1 hour on one paper, or 2 hours on SFM, 2 hours on the other paper. So just have a daily timetable for yourself and strategize how you want to study. I will advise you to study the one that you understand perfectly first. That will bring your attention to studying. It will be very interesting for you to do. Then you go to that subject that you know that, oh, it's hard for you to understand. That is what you study last. Because if you study that first, it will affect your motivation. So that's why you have to do it last. And you have to allot more time to it, because it takes you time to comprehend. So that's my own view as to time management. Daily timetable should be set for yourself, and allocate time to each paper that you want to study daily. Start with that paper that you understand first when you read it, and end it with that paper that give you issues. Allocate more time to that difficult papers. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Mr. Abdulhafiz. I hope all the question has been answered. At this moment, let me appreciate all the participants, including the speakers. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you and value your comments. Once again, do not forget to join us. Our registration is on and our payment is live. Only payment validates joining the class. Please do not hesitate to message the admin as earlier said. Once again, once again, once again, our full class commence next week, Saturday. Timetable has already been sent out. July 9, Saturday, July 9, from 8 a.m. is when our lecture starts. Do not forget to join this moving train. Once again, for any inquiries, further information, comments, payment for the class, how to join the class, kindly chat up with the admin through 080 806 65292 or 081 859 93275. That is the admin of IoT, Ican Online Tutors. We look forward to welcoming you to our success room. Thank you, everybody. To those that has joined, we appreciate you. Thank you for your time. For our instructors, thank you so much for your time and for the wonderful presentation. We appreciate everyone and pray that all your aim will be duly met and satisfied. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.